Hi, this is Lim from VisionGroup, and I'm based out of Singapore. So, greetings to everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. And today I'll be covering on three key topics, primarily the areas on trends, a bit about vision, and what we see upcoming in the future. So, many a time, let's step back a little to really find out what we think will happen in the future. We sometimes need to look into the past. And one of the key things that we look at is that technology has always been a key driver in major revolutions and disruptions in our past. And whether it's it from the telephone to the TV, the personal computer, and what we have today, we realize that every time there's a new technological invention, there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of people do make money. One of the key things that we also see as a key trend is that technology inventions are becoming much and more prevalent and coming out faster and faster. One of the things, however, to really look at is not really just about how technologies are evolving rapidly, but how are people actually adopting these key technologies and embedding them into their lifestyle. If we look back very much into the invention of electricity, and we take the adoption of 25% of the US population. It took them almost 46 years, 35 years for telephone, 26 years for the television. And moving forward to the personal computer, it took about 16 years, 13 years for the cell phone, and 7 years for bringing us to today. And if we all know, Pokemon Go just took 19 days to be adopted by 25% of the US population, comparing 46 years to what we now today have of 19 days. This also tells us there is huge amounts of opportunity, not only in creating new technology, but how the adoption of technology will be becoming more rapid and rapid in the years to come. One of the other studies that we really look at as well is that we did a study over the last 20 years, very much from 1998 all the way to 2018 on the 20 largest internet giants. And what we have here in 1998 is the top 20 internet giants. And taking a time frame every single 5 years, we mark out the ones that are still alive and valid and are in the top 20, and the rest of them that has dropped off from the top 20. Moving forward to year 2003, we realized that more than 30% of the companies has dropped off from the top 20 list, very much of course of the technology bubble. And in year 2008, in the year 2013, and in the year 2018. An interesting study is that if we look back over the course of the last 20 years, just 2 companies in 1998 is still around in 2018 that's in the top 20. What this also tells us is that probably and maybe in the next 20 years, there's a chance that some other companies that probably we can invest into or we can partner with are able to grow and become the top 20 internet giants in the 20 years to come. The next question then is to ask, what is going to be that's upcoming in the next 5 to 20 years? So looking back, today we are really in an era of data explosion. 90% of the world's data was really created just in the last 3 years. Imagine in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and more, how much more data would be created and how much more data will be embedded into the core parts of our business. With these key statistics, it's quite interesting because we know that there are going to be a lot of companies that are ill-equipped this huge amount of data and this huge amount of information that is going to be created. And there'll be 3 key things that we see it's going to be interesting. So going back to some statistics, $600 billion of loss was due to online frauds and scams in 2017. This leads us to an increasingly less trustful world. There's more scams and more frauds just because everyone's more interconnected and there's so much more data that's flowing out there. 1.7 megabytes of data is produced every single second by each person. This leads us to an increasingly noisier world. And we have more than $6 trillion lost annually in 2017, targeted with a huge increase in cyber attacks. This leads us to very much an increasingly insecure world. Which companies are then able to take on this challenge, this opportunity, to make sure that we are able to be having more trust, to have better clarity in a noisier world, and have better security in an insecure world? We believe that there are three major technologies that will contribute to these three key aspects that we believe are integral towards future-proofing companies for the future. Blockchain technology brings forth trust. AI, machine learning, analytics brings forth clarity. And cybersecurity brings forth peace of mind. And we believe that these three core technologies are very integral, not only to work separately, but together to ensure that companies are able to future-proof themselves in a future that might be more insecure, less trustful, and more noisier. So what if companies are not able to fully protect themselves or fully utilize this huge growth in data? Some key statistics on a failure to protect and loss of business for every million data records that there's a breach for is estimated $40 million. And you'll be surprised, in order to gain back to normalcy, the loss in productivity all the way from starting a data breach, detecting it, and containing the breach takes almost close to a year from the initial breach, detection, towards resolving it. 1 full year. Imagine the amount of data that's already been lost. And the loss in value for listed companies, there's a huge drop in 7.27% of average share price. And from failure to utilize, there is huge loss in business, in productivity, as well as in value. So at Vision, we focus very much in being a data-first technology group that focuses on data productivity through data decisioning, automation, and trust, enabled by AI, blockchain, and cybersecurity. So if we take a typical journey for data productivity, starting very much with the first step of data discovery, management, optimization, followed by automation, protection, and integrity, and moving forward in areas of monetization, privacy, and recovery. We believe these are 9 core sectors that will lead towards companies that has huge opportunities to grow into in the future around the 3 core technologies of blockchain, AI, and cybersecurity. Firstly, to help companies with data decisioning, followed by companies to focus on data automation and trust, and eventually how to fully monetize the data that they actually hold and have. So what do we see in the future for 2020 and beyond? We believe that data will be a huge part. And of course, we are today in the current circumstances where we have the coronavirus. And one of the key things that we really should take note of is that opportunities as well. And there are companies that do well. There are companies that behave well. There are companies that do not behave that well or treat their staff or their customers unethically. One of the key advice really to take note of is that, yes, circumstances and situations might come and go, but the people will still be around. Make sure how we behave in these circumstances will really show what kind of integrity we hold, and people will pay the price for it. So do take note that whether from an investee standpoint, an investor standpoint, do what's needed, behave well, because people remember. Opportunities that we feel that's important Yes, opportunistically through the coronavirus, where today we not only look at how are we going to be recession-proof, but we want to ensure that we can be pandemic-proof as well. This will not be the last time that the world will face an issue that is so largely blown. In the future, there might be a circumstance that in the future the viruses might become stronger, and maybe there'll be even more serious situation than we are facing today. So companies that look into the situation from opportunistic angle, great for you. But moving forward, it's important as well that eventually when this circumstance cross, what then are we going to do? And at Vision, we believe strongly in data, and companies that really fall into the full value chain in the areas not only of the three core technologies of blockchain, AI, and cybersecurity, but how to really look at data decisioning, automation, trust, and monetization are companies that we are interested in. So with that, I believe that we have pretty much covered what we believe strongly in Vision for 2020 and beyond. And very much up our alley in the next couple of months. There's huge movements very much in the blockchain era. We're able to see that there's huge movements in China where they're looking very much at their DCEP as well as their BSN network and how the entire nation is going to be blockchain enabled, distributed ledger enabled over the course of the next couple of years. In US, we already see Libra very much changing and adopting, hopefully to be able to gain better adoption in the space. So it's exciting times. We're already looking forward towards what we're able to expect for the year 2020 and beyond. With that, this is Lim again from Great to interact with everyone. Looking forward towards an exciting future. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Thank you.